Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And New York Knicks fans, obviously, we are not doing well, as the New York Knicks just got absolutely humiliated by the Dallas Mavericks. We dropped to 3 games under 500. We are now 10-13 on the season. The final score was 121 to 100, and this game was worse than that final score. We were down by 31 points, I believe, at one point. After being up 15 points in the first half, it looked like the New York Knicks were in control of this game. Obviously, the Mavericks fought back, but then the New York Knicks respond with a huge run to really close out that second quarter. Randall hits a huge three. We're drawing fouls. Brunson gets a huge bucket in the interior as well. But the bench was awful. There was no discipline. We would allow these offensive rebounds even when we were up, but we were just lucky they weren't hitting shots outside on the perimeter, and eventually they did. And we knew the Mavericks were going to be hungry. Coming off of a terrible loss to the Pistons in overtime, who were the worst team in basketball during that time, and I believe the Magic are now. The Magic have one less win than them because the Pistons had this huge win versus the Dallas Mavericks. So we knew there was going to be tons of frustrations, and the Mavericks were going to be extremely hungry. But the way the Knicks collapsed was just so bad. The Knicks are a bad team at home, but then also you could put on top of that, entering this game, the Mavericks were 1-8 on the road. So Dinwiddie, he's getting buckets. He had a huge bucket on Mitch. He did a good job floating it over Mitch, banking it off the glass. Tim Hardaway Jr. got going. Luka was able to get into the teeth of the defense, do whatever he wanted. There was just moments that they had so much time to shoot threes, and it's just humiliating. It is so bad. They made 24 three-pointers, which was one away from their franchise record. One away. They had their opportunity to really tie it or surpass it. The Celtics game, we allowed them to have a franchise record made threes. This team is so bad defending the perimeter. There's just so much undiscipline. Randall, who was the one-man show for the New York Knicks in that first half, had 21 points. He ended with 23, 24 points, and that falls on coaching. You can't rely on one player, especially that's not a superstar. They really carry you throughout the game. You can't consistently count on that. And Randall, despite him scoring, I thought he took some bad shots. And I remember one play that really frustrated me. It was either Grimes or RJ wide open in the corner. Randall still has bad recognition. So he's going to have really nice patches offensively, but there's no consistency when it comes to his basketball IQ. He had a very nice moment on Luka Doncic defensively, and then there's moments we still can't communicate who should rotate over, but then we could also have that on coaching. Thibs should have these guys prepared on defense. He should have these guys communicating. His scheme should be better. But for whatever reason, guys continuously are left wide open for three. It is just so damn frustrating. I can't believe that we're up 15 points in the first half. Dinwiddie has this run, like Bullock hits a huge three, but then we're up 7 entering halftime because we're able to draw fouls. Randall's able to hit this ridiculous three. So I'm like, okay, maybe we're still in control of this game. But again, the offensive rebounds, leaving guys open outside on the perimeter, it definitely wasn't really promising. And then you put on top of it that RJ had 9 shot attempts throughout this game. 9. Brunson, who's usually a point guard that's always in good control, he had 3 turnovers, didn't do much in this game. It was pretty much Randall as a one-man show. Grimes had some nice moments defensively on Luka Doncic, hit a 3. He had one brilliant move when he worked down the lane, had a beautiful Euro step reverse. So, the second quarter, I thought we were just going to kill one quickly at that fadeaway, but the Mavericks they just fought. They did. You have to give the Mavericks credit. You do. Bullock hit some huge threes. Finney Smith hit a huge 3. Mitchell Robinson committed a dumb fouled Tim Hardaway Jr. at the three-point line as well, which almost was a 4-point play. Ended up tying the game because he missed the free throw. Mitch, I wanted him to have another good performance. I didn't think he played that well. We just got, around in the paint. We just got absolutely manhandled. It was just very frustrating. We turned the ball over like crazy. We had 20 turnovers. They distributed the ball better than us. We didn't. Because when it came to that third quarter, Mavs just on fire from downtown. We're up 7. Tim Hardaway Jr. hits a huge 3. Luka hits a huge 3 to tie the game. RJ just didn't close out when it came to that 3 outside on the perimeter, which is really frustrating. Maybe you could put that on the system, but you still have to close outside on the perimeter. RJ responds with a 3, but after that, it didn't even matter. RJ hit a huge 3 to tie it, but then Luka gets a huge bucket in the interior after a made 3. They're up 5, and then they just pour it on from there. A ridiculously terrible stat. Luka had 19 points in that third quarter. He had 19 points in the third quarter. Tim Hardaway Jr. 16 points in that third quarter. The entire Knicks 15 points in the third quarter. Just unacceptable, trash, terrible. The shots we were taking, getting no quality shots. Like I mentioned, Randall had 21 points in the first half, finished with 23. RJ 9 shot attempts. Brunson, I didn't like his approach personally when it came to this game. The Knicks, I just thought they were going to be more hungry. But no, they just laid down and died in the second half. We're just playing undisciplined, bad basketball. Cam Reddish had some bad turnovers as well. His shots were way off, very flat. Just, you got to be better than this. And Tom Thibodeau, he needs to be gone. He does. I'm not expecting this to be like a top 5 seed with no superstar. But at the end of the day, this is what he has. He has to work with what he's got. And he needs to adjust his offense. He needs to have them running more. He needs to have them consistently moving the ball. When you don't have crazy talent on a team, you need them to play as a team. He has to make adjustments to his defensive scheme. You have to make in-game substitutions or adjustments within the flow of the game. Like, I've rambled on about it before, but Thibs just isn't the guy moving forward. He's going to set the culture of the league, adjust to his offense, adjust to his schemes. He's not the guy in the long run. I appreciated what he did year one, but after that, it's been an absolute disaster. It really has been. The defense is bad. The offense is better than the defense, and obviously the offense wasn't good in the second half, but that's bad to say about a Tom Thibodeau team. And usually they're a disciplined team. This group has been very undisciplined. Even last season they were undisciplined as well. Just very bad, unacceptable. The amount of travels we saw throughout this game. We play the Cavs tomorrow, then we play the Hawks. Like, this can be bad. We're potentially going to be like 5 games under 500 these upcoming 2 games. We allowed 14 offensive rebounds. Well, I wrote this down when there was like 2 minutes left in that fourth quarter, so maybe we allowed more. So we allowed 14 offensive rebounds. They took nearly 30 more shots than us because that comes down to turnovers. We had some near shot clock violations. It was just an absolute disaster. It was just a really, really bad game. They were just able to get whatever they wanted. Tim Hardaway Jr. just cooked us in the third quarter. He was like Stephen Curry. He was like Klay Thompson in the third. He was like Ray Allen. The amount of times that I'm like, how is a guy wide open again? Why is Kleba wide open? Why is Reggie Bullock wide open? Why is Finney Smith wide open? Josh Green comes off the bench. It just looked like he wanted it more than us. They played with more energy. He was able to work down the lane. Like, we were up 7 entering halftime. End of the third quarter, we're down 93-74. The boos were loud as well. Like, this Knicks fan base, I'm not going to lie. Like, I watch every game because I'm a true Knicks fan. But my investment in this team this season, it's just like, they're not even that fun to watch. Because at least, like, if we were kind of struggling, we would have got to see the the bright spot would have been, like, RJ really progressing and looking like a future star or like a star or something like that. But we don't even have that to work with. Brunson's been kind of fun to watch, but he didn't show up tonight. He hasn't showed up the last couple games. But I'm not going to say Brunson's trash. Because in my opinion, Brunson's a complimentary piece. You can't count on him to be a top 2 option. He's still a good player. But you need, like, a superstar alongside him. Thibs needs to go. Let me know down below your thoughts on Leon Rose. In my opinion, Leon Rose hasn't even done anything special. If anything, the direction's kind of been all over the place with Leon Rose. Like, he's done some solid good things. Like, Brunson obviously is a huge upgrade at point guard. But then at the same time, it's like, does he have a direction? When we overachieved that year, or really good that year, he didn't stick to long-term development. Why would you bring in Fournier? He's not a long-term piece. I understand you're trying to set this culture by bringing back, like, Bullock. Or not Bullock. You're trying to set this culture by bringing back, like, a Taj, Noel, Burks, and all that. But at the end of the day, you need more talent. And this team's very mediocre. We're just a very mediocre group. It's frustrating. The Knicks need to see what they officially have in Obi as in a starting role. Just see what Grimes has. Like, obviously he's a starting role. I like that. But what do they look like in a different system with a fresher, younger, like, offensive mind? Just the Knicks were embarrassing. They were just bad. Just very, very embarrassing. Let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all.